what's up? So this video is about the importance of authenticity. And so it's something like this. So for myself, I am going through this process right now of becoming a yoga teacher, and I take it very seriously. And so I am aware that I am being looked at as a person, because like you're in the center of a room teaching yoga, and I want to have a good I don't know how to say it. I mean, I want to be presentable. I want to look the part. And people say I look like a yoga teacher anyways, but still, I mean, I want to come across as somebody who is professional and somebody who, but all of this is kind of tied up with image, right? I mean, but there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, being presentable and professional and somebody who is well kept, that at least appears to care about their appearance and whatnot, and certainly as a part of representing different organizations and stuff as well. So to me it's important. But I mean, so I was in a place where I was thinking, okay, well, I get this feeling like I should have a little bit of more facial hair, because I have noticed at certain times in my life that having facial hair, it is certainly has a masculine quality to it. I mean, there's a bit of a roughness about it. I mean, and with amongst men, some men, you essentially get almost like more respect, because you have this quality, this manly quality about you. And so this can lead some men to growing a beard or maintaining a beard or some degree of facial hair. And so I fall into this category. And so I was kind of felt like, it's like, okay, well, I will do this because I want to portray myself in this way. Want to look more like, because you look a bit older when you have more facial hair, as opposed to more of a baby face when you are more on the clean shaven side or close to it. And so I went both ways with this. At first I thought, okay, I will do this, but then I reached a point where I just I guess it comes up, and it's just like, no, that's not right. It's like, how about instead of doing something that I think is what I need to do to essentially conform to this image, this idea that I'm really imposing on myself, and thinking that it is the right one for me based on the circumstances or the situation, that I should essentially conform to a certain way of being. And when I recognized that it's really not worth it, because if you are you're essentially compromising your own integrity as a person, thinking that you have to act or behave or present yourself in a certain way that is not what is kind of like what you would want just as a person, if it wasn't if other people weren't involved, how would you present yourself? What would you do? And so it's a funny thing, because some of these things that we do in order to, I guess, the idea is to be more socially acceptable, because we think that it's going to lead to us being more accepted by others, and so we may do things to alter our appearance in order to conform to this idea that we have in our head. But for myself, when I recognized this, and I just said, no, I am not going to change myself. I'm not going to be uncomfortable and do something that I really don't prefer myself. I don't mind growing facial hair from time to time, but I prefer a more clean shaven kind of 5 o'clock shadow kind of a look. I like to I clean up well. I've heard this before, and so I enjoy that clean look. I feel like for myself as a person, that is what works for me. And so the funny thing of it is that when you decide to be authentically yourself, to be to be genuine, to be very sincere about who you are, to be your unapologetic self, and to not be concerned about what others might think. It is, in essence, the beard. It is like having the beard itself. So I was talking with a buddy about this recently, because if this beard thing, it is like a symbol of status. It's like there's an empowerment that comes along with this thing, but with the attitude of like being self-empowered, being like, I don't need to conform I don't need to do anything in order to fit in there, because like that attitude itself, it's very empowering. And it is the equivalent of having that facial hair. So it's like you don't need to do that kind of stuff in order to, and it's in fact, it's more, I don't know, it's more better. It's better to just be yourself 100% of the time, and not to worry about stuff like that. Just great to not compromise yourself in a situation, to not bend over backwards and be essentially a people pleaser, be doing things just for the sake of others, as opposed to doing it because it's truly who you are. And as if who you are wouldn't be enough. And so it's very empowering, it's very liberating to come to this kind of a realization, and then you no longer feel compelled to behave in other ways that are, in a sense, abnormal to what you would naturally do. And I think one of the other added benefits that come from truly representing who you are as a person is it works like mosquito repellent. So if you essentially represent yourself as exactly who you are, the people who do not appreciate you for who you are will automatically distance themselves from you, as well as people who actually do resonate with the frequency that you're vibrating at will be naturally attracted to you. And so it's why it's so important to be authentic, to be real and genuine and sincere. It's not just an idea, it is a game changer. And something that essentially dovetails along with this idea of authenticity is to do with an idea known as vulnerability, where it's like it takes, there is this idea that being vulnerable is a weakness. But I mean, it is quite the opposite, because it takes strength, it takes courage to show who you truly are, to not be afraid of what others might think or how they might react if you were to let it be known what you're about. It takes discipline and integrity to stay true to who you are and have confidence in yourself. But the payoff is huge, because people who are attuned to this will recognize that vulnerability, and it's a way that we connect with one another, is through vulnerability, because it's a very human thing to go through. So if one person essentially opens up in this way, it makes others feel connected to that person, and so it is as well as a personal experience, which can be transformational. It is a thing of growth. It is also a bonding experience, which can be a catalyst for others to grow. And so that's why it's just all of these things are very important to wrap your mind around and to be the embodiment of.